If you're thinking about a career in real estate, then you're going to want to watch this video. My name is Christen.Ripoli, and I started my career in real estate just over 2 years ago. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what it means to be a real estate agent and how my journey has gone so far. Let's see if becoming a real estate agent is right for you. Let's start this video by talking about how you can get into real estate. Step one is getting your real estate license. That makes sense. If you want to be a practitioner of anything, you need to get a license first. And the requirements differ from state to state. So the best thing you can do to find out what you need to do is just go to the computer, go to Google, and search for the licensing requirements in your state for real estate. Simply type in that search and find out what is required of you. Let me talk a little bit about what was required for me in North Carolina. The North Carolina pre-licensing is 75 hours. It is a course that you take through a real estate school. It needs to be accredited. Now they have both in-person and online, and they even have self-paced courses available. Once you complete that 75-hour course, you'll need to take a course exam and pass that before going on to take the state and national exam. Don't get me wrong, I know 75 hours seems like nothing for a course to get a license, and it is very short. However, it is a difficult class and it is a very difficult test. It would be a good idea to join a study group, maybe write some note cards, and take as many practice tests as possible throughout that 75 hours so that you can get out of this with a license. Once you've passed your exams, you have now earned the provisional broker license. Now the clock is ticking and you have up to 18 months to take 3 additional courses. These are your post-licensing courses. They're a lot shorter and a lot more meaningful to the material that you'll be doing in real life real estate. And they need to be passed within 18 months of getting your license. Once you do that, you are a full broker. Okay, so that's the education piece. But now that you've got a fancy, new, shiny real estate license to wave around, things get real. There's a reason that about 82% of real estate agents quit in their first year of practicing real estate. Actually, there's probably a lot of reasons, but one very good reason is that you really have no guaranteed income. Now, chances are you got into real estate because you heard there's no ceiling to the income you can make in this career. But you must also realize there is no basement to that income level either. You have to put in a lot of work in order to get paid. In some cases, it may take many months before you start making an income in real estate. Of course, everyone has a different journey, and I would venture that some people come out of this with a line of people waiting for them to get their license, and they're jumping right out of the gate and moving quickly on their real estate closings. However, I would also guess that the majority of agents do not have that luxury. While we're on the topic of getting your license, I would love to mention that my firm, Keller Williams Select, here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, is offering a free real estate pre-licensing course. If you're local and you're interested in exploring the possibility of becoming a real estate agent, call, text, or email. I would love to set you up with my team leader so that you can talk about this possibility. Okay, so step one was obtaining your real estate license. Now moving on to step 2, and that is affiliating with a brokerage. Now, I would suggest that you start interviewing with brokerages before you even finish real estate school, because you're going to want to know what your next step is. But you certainly don't have to. I've known many real estate agents who finish up their pre-licensing, go straight into post-licensing, and don't even consider where they're going next until they have a full broker's license. It's so important to find a brokerage where you feel connected. Remember, this isn't like interviewing for a traditional job, because if you recall, they're not paying you anything. It's a little bit more like dating, I would say. You want to find a place where you connect with them and they connect with you. You get along with one another, you respect each other's values, and there's some common ground there. For me, education and training were the most important thing. So that's why I chose Keller Williams. You want to decide what is most important to you before you go out and search for where you're going to call your home after you start selling real estate. It's not a bad idea to talk with several firms before making your choice. And keep in mind that if you're going to be working a full-time job or a part-time job while you're dipping your feet into real estate, you might want to consider that not every firm, not every brokerage will hire a part-time agent, meaning that you're juggling 2 jobs. So just keep that in mind as you're searching. A larger firm is probably going to be more accepting of people who have another job, whereas a smaller firm that may only have a few seats to fill will want to be more selective. Like I said earlier, every person doing this is walking a very unique journey. It's not like a cookie recipe where there's specific measurements and steps. It can be very individualized. Okay, so step 2 was affiliating with a brokerage and a broker in charge to make sure that you are following all the rules and laws for your state. Now moving on to step 3, and this is the most important. This is the training. Now you might have thought that pre-licensing was your training, but the fact is a lot of what you learn in pre-licensing, they like to say, is just the stuff that's going to keep you out of real estate jail. That's what a lot of people joke around about. But the fact is, doing the job, doing the real estate, you don't really know what you're getting into until you start. Ideally, you have chosen to work with a brokerage who offers in-depth training right from day one. In some cases, you might join a mentorship program or a coaching program, and in some cases, you may even choose to join a team. And that's not right for everyone. You have to make that decision if that's a fit for you. In some cases, it may feel like you're working like an intern, doing all of the grunt work, and that may be part of it. But the fact is, you have to learn how to walk before you can learn how to run. There are some things you can do to accelerate your learning, such as helping with open houses, signing up as a showing assistant for a seasoned agent, signing up for phone duty for your office, and even helping renters find a home. I cannot stress enough how important it is to find a brokerage that is going to help you with training. As a former teacher, I know that's where the gold is. Okay, so now you know the 3 steps to becoming a real estate agent. Now let me share a little bit about my journey. I honestly feel that in order to be a good real estate agent, the key is persistence. The fact is, if you don't give up, if you keep going, failure after failure after failure will not keep you down, and you will be a successful real estate agent. I can illustrate that with the beginning of my career. When I first got licensed in September of 2019, I was working harder than I'd ever worked before to try to make this a successful career. And just as I was really starting to get some momentum going, the country shut down and we entered the pandemic in early 2020. Now that kind of reset everything for everyone. And every month I was working and working and working, and I had no closings to show for it. In fact, I didn't have my first closing until July of 2020. That was many, many months after obtaining my real estate license. And then I didn't have any more until December. But in December 2020, I had 3 closings. That means I closed out 2020 with 4 total transactions. Now, I feel it's important to note here, the National Association of Realtors, they have combined all of the real estate agents all over the country, and they have from the very, very part-time to the very, very full-time agents, and they came up with an average of 6 to 7 transactions per year for real estate agents. So in that context, 4 doesn't seem too bad. Then I started 2021 with a great start. I had 2 closings in January, 1 in February, 0 in March, 1 in April, 0 in May, 1 in June. So that's not too bad for the first half of 2021. Now moving into the second half of 2021, I had 2 closings in July, 1 in August, 2 in September, 1 in October, and 1 in November. That means so far, about halfway through November 2021, I have 12 closings for this calendar year, a full 3 times last year's number. So today we talked about the 3 steps to becoming a real estate agent, and we talked a little bit about my journey so far. If this is something that's interesting to you and you would like more information about becoming a real estate agent, no matter where you are, give me a call, send me a text, or send me an email. I would love to talk more about this with you. But if you are local especially, I would love to grab a cup of coffee and talk this over a little bit more. And like I said, my firm is offering free pre-licensing, so be sure to let me know that you're interested, and I can have my team leader call you to set up the classes. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I taught you something today. Bye.